Serena, what's going on? Don't you know what's happening? Don't you care? Don't worry, baby. I got you. This land is your land. This land is my land. From the Redwood Forest to the New York Islands. This land was made for you. You don't want this land? Go back to your country. If you're like me and millions of people around the world, you're probably a little bit afraid as to what's coming next. You understand fear and sadness, and you can empathize with people who are struggling because no one deserves to be sad.
Or scared.
Or scared. So the root of all of this is, I would say, ignorance and hate, whether it's about Islam or Muslims or refugees or
just the other. So we ask people to ask us questions about Muslims or Islam. Just those questions that they see out there on those crazy websites, and they're just like, wait, what is it though?
So the first question is pretty relevant since February 1st is actually World Hijab Day. And so, should I be wearing the hijab in solidarity with Muslim sisters?
So first, let's just clear up why hijab. Number one, I believe it's something that the Quran says Muslim women are to do, showing your connection with God. So God said to do it, and you do it. Simple as that. The second, it really gave me a sense of identity. Wearing it, I'm like, I am a Muslim woman. Number three, it helps protect me from doing stupid things anyway. It puts that spotlight on you, which is kind of stressful at times, but also keeps you accountable to a higher level. If I feel like punching somebody, I'm not going to because, hey, I am a Muslim woman. I remember that because I put it on every morning. Number four, it helps me be a better woman in general. I feel like I want to be heard from my voice and my thoughts and opinions and not be get distracted by those things, even though, you would hope in an ideal society that doesn't happen, but it does. We've seen enough TV shows or they're just focusing on that. And the last one is it just builds that sense of community. You're just walking down the hall and you see another person in hijab, you automatically have this connection and you smile, you say salam, and that just brightens your day no matter how bad of a day you're having. And wearing hijab on World Hijab Day or try hijab on for a day or be a hijabi for a day, these programs are well intended and sometimes they are needed. In today's climate, you wearing hijab as a form of solidarity is powerful. People are being harassed, hurt, bullied because they wear the hijab, and you just wearing that shows that you don't stand for that, and that you are ready to defend and protect the people that you are being allies to. So that is powerful. On the other hand, just wearing it without knowing the nuances of hijab makes it a little bit ignorant, right? Start off what is hijab, what's kind of expected when you do this form of solidarity, and then do it, and then you can have a reflection at the end. That way, those who are wearing it don't feel like they're just copying it and, taking it and appropriating it. And maybe some kind of pin or something that shows that I am doing this as a form of solidarity. So, the next question that we got a lot about was the scary word. What is Sharia law?
Sharia literally means path, a path that leads to water, a path that leads to purification, self-consciousness. Sharia is not just about rules and regulations that punish people for doing something wrong, but it's really the everyday aspects of a Muslim person's life, from clothing to eating to financial transactions to anything you can think of. It is the way of life of a Muslim person. When I pray 5 times a day, I'm practicing Sharia law. When I'm doing business and I'm being fair in my dealings, I'm practicing Sharia law. Nobody is trying to impose Sharia law in America. The Constitution is what we abide by, and this is the country that we live in. And if Sharia was to be implemented in a Muslim rule or a Muslim society, it cannot be imposed on other people. There's no compulsion in religion. Sharia is there to protect basic human rights.
A lot of times when you hear about Sharia law in the news, it's taken out of context, right? Everything has context. I don't know why people think they can just pull things out and say, like, this is what it is, right?
You can't cherry pick verses of the Quran or quotes from the Hadith. If I did that with a children's book. Do an experiment.
Third graders were lined up and waiting. Move it, shorty, growled a voice above Mim.
Oh my God, this is a terrible book that teaches
shorty?
disrespect to children. Move it, shorty.
But no, this book's actually really nice. It's like they teach about friendship. Yeah. You wouldn't get that because you didn't read the whole book.
Yeah. Well, how come like little girls are getting married off in the Middle East, and why are there honor killings and this and that? Well, then why is there human trafficking in Cambodia and in the United States? Why are there people shooting up movie theaters? Why
are men beating women in their house every 3 seconds in America? Like, why?
Yeah. There is an answer to that why, and that is because extreme ignorance, a great deal of pride is very dangerous. And at the same time, when there are no checks and balances by the people who either train them or they look up to or advise them, do not give them that appropriate advice. The difference is Islam is inherently evil. You know, it says to kill the non-believers. No, it does not. It absolutely does not say that. Someone asked, in what context would it be okay to kill other people? In what context? Self-defense. Every law, there's that option to ask for forgiveness for yourself and to forgive someone else that did harm to you. Right. And it's over right then and there.
So people then are like, but why then? Why are they so merciless in killing and beheading? Rhetoric, right? Hateful rhetoric that gets ingrained in people's brain because those people are smart and evil. Somebody who's following, our neighbor who's falling next into the prey of Fox News, that same person overseas is falling into the prey of those evil people who are saying those things out of context and using that rhetoric.
There is evil in this world and there's good in this world. The good absolutely outweighs the evil. You can't just be good and be complacent. You have to be good and you have to be active, because the people that are evil and they have their agendas, they are super active, they're super organized, and they are super dedicated to their cause.
And that kind of goes to the next question, which was my favorite question. How I want to show support, I want to be an ally. What can I do? I just feel helpless.
Number one, go out and do something. Visit your local masjid. Talk to your friends and see what you can do actively. Donate to organizations that are fighting for humanitarian causes and equal rights and social justice. If you can't do that, then talk about it in your inner circles on social media. Post about it. Talk about it. You know,
that can be hard, right? Right now, you know the friends that you have, and you posting something. We have friends who posted and have got 180 comments, and they're not all great. But that is a form of support and solidarity. Like, you don't have to do that.
Yeah, you don't have to do that. It is definitely important for you. We can't do it without you. And thank you for those of you who have spoken out, made your status updates very clear about your positions on these discriminatory and dividing executive orders.
When you have those you have those people who, your Uncle Jim who's commenting, message them separately. You know, people have a lot of emotions about these issues. So take that time to message them separately, so they're not just trolling you. And that way you can have that conversation in a more civil way. As an ally, have that power, because they're not going to listen to us. They already have this block, right?
The Prophet said, if you see something wrong, try to change it with your hand. Do something about it. If you can't do that, change it with your tongue. Speak out against it. And if you can't do that, then at least feel bad about it in your heart.
You know, stay strong at these hard times. You have a shoulder to cry on or a hand to hold.
This land is my land.
So let us know what you've been doing, how you've been feeling, and what you do for self-care. Serena, can you wave bye-bye?